Let's imagine it's a beautiful tactical day and you're sitting next to your rack, admiring your magnificent guns. You're drinking a cup of tea. Suddenly, you realize you need to pick up your WE KAC PDW not yet HPA GBBR. You just cannot resist. Oh, so great, so beautiful, and so tactical. Oh wait, something's out of order. You notice you have no tactical gloves on. And something's wrong.
Oh, quick, a tourniquet.
How could this happen? Why you bled to death? Was it necessary? And how to prevent this happening to you ever again? Let's look closely. What is there on the pistol grip? If you own a PDW, you can notice that there is this step here. This edge is often related to as the deadly edge of death, and it can cut off your hand if you're not careful. It's the cause for the sorrow and sadness on your gun rack. And just to quickly show you, so the pistol grip is like 22 something millimeters wide and the body is 27, which is really annoying me, because when I hold the PDW and I'm going for the selector switch, it's hard not to touch it with your thumb, and I want to make something about this. But why is it like this in the first place? I don't know if you know, but generally GBBRs have a more narrow body, the lower receiver, than the AEGs, which is the same as real steel firearms. I'm talking of course about AR-10 and similar family. And this is because in AEG you have a gearbox inside which has to have some width, and because of it it's not possible to fit it into this original width that the real steel counterpart should have. So for example, here we again have something like 22 something, and here in the AEG you have 27 something. This is another example. It's the original pistol grip from that Spetsna Arms M27 I just showed, which has a little less than the body, 26 with some tenths of millimeters. And this, for example, is the WE-M4 pistol grip, where this step is not there, and it's 22.58. The question is why this step is here on the PDW and it's pissing us off. And the reason I think is kind of simple, because the uppers and the lowers for GBBRs or AEGs are basically die cast, and then they are milled with some additional features. I believe that the PDW is not a high runner in the WE business, so they have one common die cast tool in which they make the bodies for the AEG and GBBR, and then they are milling the insides to be either the version for GBBR or the version for an AEG. Apparently HK416s or M4s that they make, they have high enough volume to make two separate tools and run two separate bodies. Anyway, I want to get rid of it. What I don't understand is why they just won't make a different pistol grip for the PDW GBBR, because anyway it goes only to this gun, and they could get rid of this tiny little annoying feature. So what I will do about this, I will mount this pistol grip, which is an AEG pistol grip, onto the PDW. You can see the width is higher, it should fit more or less to the body. Normally it's not possible to just fit it here, because this pistol grip has different attachment for the AEG than the GBBR, but we will make it work. First of all, we need to print a 3D part from the link in the description. In the meantime, while we're waiting for our part to print, we need to remove the original pistol grip to make it easier. Let's get rid of the magazine. There is one screw deep in there, but you want to undo, and this will be it. So when you undo it, be sure not to lose the spring that is in there. Of course, the screw. And there is also a pin that stops the selector in position, so let's throw it out and put it aside. I'm also gonna remove the trigger guard, because I'm converting this gun to HPA, of course, and I need my custom trigger guard. So in the rear there is a pin here, you need to push it out, and in the front there is just a push button with a spring, and if you pull it, it will come out, so I'll take it out. The finished printed part will look more or less like this, and it still needs some corrections. Obviously you will take it and put it into your new AEG pistol grip, but as I said, first you need to do some small corrections. Here there is a hole that normally would be here, so I'm gonna use a drill. It's 3.5 millimeters. I will put it here and I will reshape this hole so that the spring can fit nicely. And you see that the drill is maybe visible here, but this wall stands. If I did the hole of the proper size immediately, then most likely it would not print on the FDM machine. Let's clean this out. Now I did it, so I can try if the spring is fitting and working. The second thing is that when you assemble these parts together like this and you look there inside, you see that the hole for the motor is not aligned with the hole to attach this pistol grip to the GBB body. So it will require some cutting in the pistol grip, but if we do it, the structure will be weak, and I'm not sure if this will hold. So there is one more improvement done to this printed part, and one more thing that you have to do. There are these two small holes on the rear side, which we will use to screw this part inside the pistol grip permanently, so that there is no issue that it will be torn apart because of head of the screw to the body not covering enough of plastic of the pistol grip. I'm gonna use some brass inserts with M3 thread. In the printed part there is already diameter prepared to insert these brass nuts, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push this longer M3 screw here on the other side, and then I'm gonna put the brass insert over it, but just like a half of turn, so I have it barely engaged and I can pull it in. And now, using an old soldering iron, I'm gonna heat up the brass nut, and when it heats up I'm gonna push it into the plastic, and I'm gonna use this long screw to pull it in even further and make it more or less perpendicular to the to this surface. Now the same for the other one, and we're done. Before I put this in and screw it with these rear two screws, I'm gonna make this cutout here so that this main screw to the PDW can fit there. And the main screw is a big one. Actually, it's of the width of the hole for the wires here. So I'm just gonna cut this through with a knife. And this is how the opening looks after I cut it through. And when I will push this in finally, you will see that now there is a through hole and I can easily screw it to the GBBR body. There is one more thing. If you are planning to route the HPA line the Frog engineering way, meaning through this trigger guard, and in here you can see that this printed part is already prepared, so it has some space for the line, for the hose, but the pistol grip doesn't. So what we would need to do is to drill through in here perpendicularly inside through the plastic on the pistol grip. And because of course I am going to have the HPA here connected, then I'm gonna drill it through. So how am I going to do it? I'm gonna take a power tool. I'm gonna insert the drill into this slot I already prepared earlier, and I'm gonna be pushing down when moving the drill back and forth, just cutting off enough space so that the hose can go through. So I fought with this for a moment and it's ready now. So you see it, the shapes make sense. I also filed it so I have no debris and sharp edges. So let's take now our printed part, put it in and see the result. Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted. So now what I can do is to take these regular M3 screws that you would normally use to attach pistol grip to the AEG gearbox, drop them in there to these two holes that you see, the small ones, and permanently attach the printed part to the grip. One more thing you may want to do, if you prefer, then you can actually put some glue in between here and there and just glue it permanently, whatever you prefer. I don't really feel it's necessary, but why not? And it's done. You can see screws are inside. Here I have the PDW ready for final assembly. There is, however, one more thing I'm gonna need, because remember I had concerns about cutting off parts of the pistol grip because the screw would have small overlap with the plastic. So in order to reinforce it a little, I'm gonna use this washer, the biggest one I could get in my country, but I need to make this cutout in it because otherwise it will obscure the hole for the hose. I made this cutout with a Dremel here on top, and when you are doing this, make sure that there are no sharp edges. So in my case there are none. So I'm gonna drop the screw in here, and this should be better. Then I'm gonna drop the spring in here, and now when I have it ready, I'm gonna put the grip here with the spring into this hole with the pin, and I'm gonna push it over my PDW like this, and I'm gonna screw it in there nicely. I know you can't see, but I'll show you the result. Yeah, now the washer is not obscuring the cutout. It's on the plastic inside the pistol grip, increasing the overlap. So now let's make sure that the fire selector works. No problems. And you can see that I was able to pull the line through the pistol grip. But for the moment I'm not gonna finish this, not in this video. In this video I only wanted to show you how to do this improvement. Right now we have a nice flash edge here. Fire selector does not get caught on the pistol grip, everything's perfect. I think I'm gonna just attach this regular AEG cover on the bottom. Nice. Success. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video and the idea, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, leave me a like or comment, and hit the notification bell. If you are interested in this particular rifle, WE KAC PDW, the video about this conversion will be coming up soon on the channel. Be sure not to miss it. There will be more ideas coming soon, not only for airsoft rifles, but in general for all types of gear you use on airsoft field, so also be sure not to miss those. If you like the markings on the gun, they were custom lasered for my order. I will post the link to a file where you can find them also, and your local lasering company services can laser them for you. Once again, thank you for your attention and see you in the next video.